Lonna Kelly, and this is Hudson Valley Art Speak. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to be talking to Diane Ingram, and Diane is a life coach and a business coach, and she helps people discover what, Diane?
I help people get unstuck and move towards creating the life that they want to be having for themselves.
Well, I'm really happy that you came and you're going to talk to us today, and we can explore this a little bit. How did you become a life coach?
I was considering going back and getting my master's in social work, and a friend said that she thought coaching was more suitable for me, and when I checked out the profession, I realized I'd been a coach all my life. I love supporting people. I'm also a songwriter, and so when I created my own CD of original songs years ago, everybody was telling me they're aborted creative dreams, and I found myself urging them on. So coaching seemed like the perfect fit for me.
It seemed like a natural step in your progression.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what does it entail?
Well, the way my coaching program works is we start with a life purpose process, and that helps you get clear on what is your purpose in this life. What are you here that when you give of yourself, you're feeling the most passion and excitement, and people are receiving that from you. So once we're clear on what your purpose is and come up with the statement, we look at all the areas of your life and what would life look like living on purpose in those areas of life. So it's about, my work is to help you get clear on what's your purpose, what you want to be doing with your life, to come up with a plan to move in that direction, and to find the courage. And that's usually the place where people need the most support.
Yeah, do you find that people who come to you are often really do know their purpose, but what do they need?
They're usually not in touch with it. I think that, the way I was trained, and I just love this, is that people have all the answers inside. Lao Tzu, I believe, said that, we know deep within us what we want to do with our lives. And so it's a matter of helping them access that, asking the right questions so that they find themselves answering in a way that they have self-discovery and understanding. So it's there, it just needs to be excavated a little bit.
Right, and do you find it's a long process?
The way I ask people to commit to 8 sessions, and it's spread over about a 4 to 6 month period, those sessions. They're 2-hour sessions, so it's a different structure than most coaches. It's not every week. And the idea is that over that kind of half a year, there's really a transformation that takes place where people discover things about themselves they hadn't acknowledged or they didn't understand. So it does take time to kind of excavate and nurture and have it come to full bloom. And
have you ever had people kind of do a complete turnaround? They come and say they're super corporate, and they end up, like, all I want to do is paint, and that's where I need to go.
Usually when they come to me, they already know they want to get out. I've had a lot of corporate refugees come and say, I just got to get out of there, and I don't know what it is. And usually they do know, but they just need someone to kind of hold the space, make it safe for them to really say what they know is true about themselves. But
you also coach people in business.
I do coach people in business.
So how is that different?
It's not that different because it's really about supporting people in discovering their own truth and saying it out loud, once again in a safe space. A lot of us were told we couldn't have this, we shouldn't want for things, we should be happy with what we have. That was a lot of the conditioning for us. Of a certain era, and even today I think people are told that, and so that is buried deep within us, our desires, our wants, our longings, our dreams. And so my job is to create a safe space and say it's okay for those things to come up and out, knowing that when they do, there'll be great satisfaction and fulfillment that comes to that person's life when they can start even touching on what that is. Sometimes just acknowledging, I do want to paint. I've always wanted to paint, and it's not about how good I am. It's about the, expressing the longing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And it's not about how good your paintings are. It's about
That's what I mean.
the pleasure of doing
That's
it.
what I mean, because
Yeah.
once again, we're in a culture where, are you published? You know, are you in a gallery?
Yeah.
And then people just kind of hide again because, well, I guess, you know, I'm not good. And it's not about being good, it's about expression.
Yeah. So say I'm an artist, I'm a photographer, and I just am just kind of lost and I can't find my way. I don't know what I want to shoot, who I want to shoot. I don't know whether I should strive to be in a gallery or just, you know, just enjoy taking pictures and never publish them. Well, how would you work with somebody like that?
I think one of the first things we do is, in part of the life purpose process, is get really clear on what are you passionate about? What is it that you love to look at? What do you see when you look through the camera? Do you like to be in the swamp? Do you like to take pictures of people? You know, really get in touch with what is calling to you. And if you still can't get in touch with that, I would urge you to just go out and explore. So a lot of it is about safety. A lot of it is about the person feeling safe enough and kind of confident enough to try things. So that would be one piece of it. And as far as, you know, whether you want it to be a profession or a hobby or what you wanted to do with it, we would look at the structure of your life. You know, do you have to work your job in order to pay your rent, or is that handled for you? You know, those kind of things.
It's an important consideration.
It's an important consideration, but you can have both. You know, you can do that job and you can do it as a hobby, and it can see where it goes. That's another thing people get hung up with. I don't know where this is going, or if it's not professional, it's not worth doing. And so just realizing that the pleasure comes in the doing, and however that looks.
Yeah.
And we don't often know where things are we never know where things are gonna end up. So by taking a few steps, things start to unfold, and there's information that comes to us. And so you do this dance with kind of the unfoldment of what's happening.
Right. Now, do you set goals? I mean, or do people set goals for themselves once they start working with you? Do they leave that 2-hour session with maybe some goals or some homework that they need to do?
Yeah.
Or what happens?
I have a notebook that they work through, and so we work on this visionary level of kind of what is it you want, you know, if you had what you wanted. And then between each meeting I say, what are you willing to commit to between now and the next time we meet that's going to take you towards that vision? So that it's both a visionary level and a practical level. And then they go off and they come back, and so we go through. They actually write down what they're committing to. So it's very, you know, practical. And they may say, you know, between now and the next time we meet, I'm going to take my camera out into the woods, and I'm just going to see what attracts me. And so when they come back, I'll say, so how did that go? And they say, God, I discovered that like there's so much happening in the woods, you know, there's so much to see, and that I really love, you know, tuning in closely, you know. So what did you discover about yourself? Well, I discovered that when I take the first couple steps, things just open up for me.
Yeah.
So it's all, my work with them is asking questions to get them to have insights and get clear on, you know, what it is they want, very specifically.
Yeah. And you've written several books, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
This was my first one, Listen to Your Heart, A Guide to Living Life on Purpose. And once again, that's about living life on purpose, because when you do, you're pretty fired up. Then I wrote this one last year, Shine at Work, Be Empowered and Engaged, and that's more about being aligned with your work, whether it's in a company or a corporation or your own business, and really being purposeful, having a values match, having a vision match, because if you don't, you're gonna be very unhappy. I just finished writing another book called The Heart and Soul of Extraordinary Leadership. Once again, it all goes back to purpose, passion, and potential, my 3 Ps. It's about living purposefully, showing being fueled by your passion, and going towards your potential and inspiring other people to do that.
And do you give examples? Do you talk about people that you think have reach that high level?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, I just did a taping here actually at Comcast where I talked about Blake Makowski, who did the Tom's shoes. He had this vision to sell shoes, and for every pair of shoes he sold, he gave a pair to kids who don't have shoes. So inspiring stories like that help people to see when they follow their heart and really step and commit to that, that can really come true. Their dreams can come true. Yeah.
And you have one more book.
I have another book that's a compilation of my newsletter. It's called Bits of Inspiration. I send it out twice a month, and it's just short little pieces that I write that are meant to inspire people along their journey of life. And so people have said I should create a compilation book of that, so I'm doing that. And so those two will be coming out in the next month, hopefully, as soon as I get the covers finished.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I do read your newsletters.
Thank you.
I read them
Thank
regularly.
you.
And,
Thanks.
And,
I hope they're inspiring
sometimes click on the links and
good.
see where it brings me.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are inspiring. Yeah. Where are your books available? How could a person get one?
They're at the Book Cove in Pauling, or you can actually get them on my website, which is dianeingram.com. And they also are on Amazon because they're self-published through the self-publishing company, Amazon Self-Publishing, which is called createspace.com, which I love that company. So easy.
Is it easy to do?
It's easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Diane, what's next? Where do you see this taking you?
Well, out of my work with clients, which I love one-on-one work, I've also done some speaking, and I realized how excited I get when I'm in a room full of people and we're talking about these things like purpose and passion and potential, and there's magic in the room and people are interacting with me. So I'm heading more now in the direction of speaking, and I love interacting with large groups. And I was a ballet dancer when I was young, and I'm a singer, so I've been on stage a lot. So in some ways, it's a completely natural progression for me.
Right, yeah. Some people are terrified of talking,
Yeah.
speaking in front of people.
Yeah,
But,
no, it's funny.
I think the more you do it, the less frightening it is, less intimidating it can be.
Yeah, and I realized like there's a common thread between my dancing and my singing and my speaking, and I'm actually building some of those pieces into my speaking, because today's audiences, in order to keep their attention, you really need to have more of a performance piece than just a speech.
So in a way, you're a performance artist
also,
as well as being a coach and a musician and a writer.
Which is really exciting for me.
So I hope everybody took some ideas away from this today, and perhaps they'll be able to get your books and to work on issues that they might have or get in touch with you. So thank you so much for coming today.
It's been a pleasure.
I really appreciated talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when do you hope to get your books out published?
Well, my husband is going to help me with the covers, and so hopefully that'll happen this weekend.
Yeah.
And then I'll get them uploaded on the Create Space.
And how long does it take before they?
You can either like get the proof instantaneous, and now you can actually visualize it, and you can see it visually on the site. They used to make you buy a proof copy and look at it first, but you don't have to. So yeah, they're available right away.
I was just going to ask if you have illustrations.
Yeah, Ron put his photographs there.
I can't read any of this because I don't have glasses.
Isn't that terrible? I hate that.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Thanks. I wasn't sure how this was going to work, but it went very
worked
well.
Very well.
Yeah.
You were great.
Thanks.
You were great.
I get so excited talking about this. I've got myself kind of going like this at one point. It's like, take a breath.
Well, as long as you didn't float out of the chair, we're okay.
That's why I belong in front of cameras. I have these